Is it sweater weather yet? I think it is. Hello there. Today we have a special day because we have a brand review for skincare. So this is Nacomi Next Level. It's a fairly new, to me at least, Polish brand. They have awesome marketing, like their packaging, the style, everything. It looks so good. Like I couldn't resist the first time I saw them. I had to get stuff. And then I went on vacation, so more of their stuff in the local drugstore, got a ton of it. And now I've been using it for at least 1 month and at most 4 months, depending on the product, so I can give you all the tea. Of course, we have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of products. They're targeted towards like all different kind of skin concerns. They usually have products that are kind of focused on a certain ingredient. The packaging is super sleek, really simple, really nice. And just overall, I kind of saw ingredients there that I never saw in my life on their products. And that's why I got interested, because every time you tell me there's a new acid I don't know, I gotta know. So let's get right to it. And I'm gonna start off with the first product I got from them, which was their Niacinamide 15% serum. Listen, this thing traveled the world with me, literally. It was everywhere with me. I love it so much. This is like my perfect one and done serum. Like I use niacinamide on a daily basis, no matter what, but this one also have hyaluronic acid. So that makes it a perfect one and done serum for the morning and for the evening. So if I travel somewhere, I just take this and I'm good in the serum stage. It doesn't have any alcohol and it's not fragranced, which is probably gonna make a lot of people happy. It contains hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, glycerin, aloe, and also panthenol. So you're kind of looking at like a perfect one and done hydrating serum with niacinamide, everything you need in one bottle for every day. I almost used it up before I managed to make this video, which would be very unfortunate. And I already cannot wait to get another one. By the way, these serum bottles are all these serum bottles are 30 milliliters. I do quite like the packaging, it's pretty sleek. You have a pump, a cap, pretty cool. They're not see-through, so the product inside cannot be, compromised by any light. There we go. This is the first one. Like, this is a keeper, okay? This is something I can see myself purchasing over and over. This one is also a serum, and it's the Trehalose 10% serum. You know why I bought it? Because I had no idea what Trehalose is. Now I know. So this one is supposed to be a moisturizing serum. Again, same packaging, same amount, 30 milliliters. This one is one of the thickest serums I've ever seen. It's like a borderline moisturizer. I just wasn't ready for that because all my experiences with their serums were super positive. Everything was lightweight, runny, beautifully sinking in. This one is like right the opposite. So of course you have 10% of the Trehalose, which is basically like a sugar with water binding properties. So I kind of think of it as a similar functionality that hyaluronic acid has. Not sure how correct that is, but that's how my brain works. You also have hyaluronic acid in it and also ceramides, which kind of gives you the idea that it's not going to be super lightweight. Like I've never had a product with ceramides that wouldn't feel greasy on the skin. I just never saw one. It is definitely super moisturizing. They weren't lying about that. I would recommend it for very dry skin. If you have oily skin, this is not gonna be for you. Like, it is barely for me. Let's be honest, my mom is probably getting that next month. It is targeted more towards like dehydrated skin, mature skin, stuff like that. And it is also supposed to repair your barrier, which is also something I'm kind of drawn to by default. Now, it is alcohol-free, it is fragrance-free again, so good news for everyone. And besides the Trehalose, hyaluronic acid, and ceramides, you also have other ingredients like niacinamide, lipids, which are also helping the barrier, and also shea butter, which, yeah, you get the texture issue now. We're not friends with shea butter. We're not even like neighbors. Honestly, I'm not, like, I've been using it a lot, but it's still a little too hot. I can either use stuff like this in the winter, or when my skin is super busted, or when it's like super dry. I cannot use this like on a regular summer day. Like that's not gonna work. Because this is one of those things that I put on my face, and if it's too hot, I apply too much, or I have too much underneath, I'm gonna sweat it off. So this is not really my favorite, but I think this is gonna be exactly great for people with super dehydrated skin, a little bit more mature skin. So as I said, this one's going to my mom. Okay, now we can move on to exfoliating serums. I have a thing for exfoliants in my serum stage. I can't explain it. It was all started by the Glow Hub Super Serum, and now I can't stop. So of course I got a salicylic acid serum. This is the salicylic acid 2% with charcoal powder and 5% niacinamide. I love this, okay? I love this so much because I would usually use salicylic acid exactly with that, not charcoal, niacinamide. So I'm very happy to have this combination in a serum. So we have the BHA, which is an exfoliant. It helps to not really unclog pores, but it does target the sebum and like the dirt and stuff that's in your pores. So that's like the only thing that can really help you with that. The charcoal is really not necessary. I think we all know at this point charcoal doesn't really do much except for soaking up some of that like surface oils, whatever. But what I like about the serum is that it's super lightweight. This is so good. Like really you just put it on and it's gone in a minute. It's sinking in so nicely. It's really, this is the kind of texture that sold me on Nacomi, really. Like, they know how to make lightweight serums. When it comes to the ingredients, again, it's alcohol-free, it's fragrance-free, which is perfect. We also have glycerin as like a humectant, and then the charcoal powder, which I still think is very unnecessary. The thing is, it doesn't really, like, you can't really feel it. It's not like it's rubbing your skin and like exfoliating manually. That's not the case at all. I just think it's kind of like an unnecessary gimmick, you know, but whatever. It's a black serum. It's kind of cute. The next exfoliating serum I have is AHA and PHA serum. I'm like such not a fan of AHAs because lately they've been giving me the worst like reactions. My face has been irritated by the Pixie Glow Tonic. It has been irritated by all kinds of different AHAs, and I don't know what to do anymore. So I decided to buy a serum with AHAs, then maybe it's gonna be better. And actually, this works so well for me, way better than any like AHA toner that I have. So this is the Mandelic acid and 10% PHA exfoliating serum. It contains coconut water, lactobiotic acid, and mandelic acid. So this is truly like an AHA PHA exfoliating serum, which is like, it's perfect, okay? My skin looks so good when I use AHAs, but lately it's been a nightmare to find some that work for me. But this one has been working for me so well. It just kind of like fixes my face. I don't know how else to describe that. But it is good for texture, it is good for your pores. It is just overall good for when I have really shitty skin and I want to have it less shitty the next day. That's when I use this. And it really doesn't irritate my skin at all, which I was really surprised at. Maybe it could irritate yours depending on your tolerance for acids, but I had the best experience with this I could. Again, it's alcohol-free, it is fragrance-free, and it contains hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, the mandelic acid, the lactobiotic acid, and then also glycerin. So it's also kind of hydrating, again, like kind of one and done serum, right? You don't really need all that much after this. And honestly, I've been having the best time with this because it really makes my skin look better when I have a shitty skin day, which is a good thing to have. The last serum I have is a retinol. Of course, I had to get their retinol. Like, what's even the question, right? I'm always curious to try out new retinol formulas just because I'm just curious. I just want to know. Because a lot of brands just dissolve them in oils, and I don't like that. Just out of principle. I don't like that. I had retinol oils. I just don't like them. So I decided to check out this one. They have multiple different strengths. I went for the strongest one because I am a regular retinol user. So this is the retinol 1%. With pure retinol, hyaluronic acid, and panthenol. So again, it's a one and done serum. It's perfect. It does feel very similar to the retinol from Inculist. This one feels a little bit more creamy and like less jelly, but I still really like the texture and it is a bit more lightweight than I expected. It is nice to use. It didn't irritate my skin, which is to be expected though, because my tolerance is pretty high up. But if all of them have this kind of texture, I would say it's like a very good starter product if you want to start with retinol, just because they're so easy to apply and they're not like overly fussy, just like the oils are, or at least in my opinion. It is also alcohol free. One thing that's weird to me is that it contains essential oil, like a rose essential oil. I don't even smell the rose, so I'm just very confused. Why is that a thing? But yeah, sure, whatever. It does contain one essential oil, so beware. Besides that though, we have the hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, panthenol, soybean oil, and sunflower seed oil. So you really have a bunch of different like hydrating things. You have antioxidants, you have the hydration. Just to beware, you know, soybean oil, some people might be allergic to that as well. So yeah, I don't really understand why these like potentially allergenic things have to be in a serum, but they do so. But overall, I think it's a nice retinol. I don't really see all that much difference from just like 4 uses or how many times I used it over the month, but I like it texture-wise and it feels similar to the other ones that I had before. So far so good. The next product I have is actually eye cream. This is the 2% caffeine eye cream. There are 15 milliliters of product. It's slightly smaller than the previous ones. And this one is pretty thick. I wasn't expecting it to be as thick. I kind of thought it's going to be like one of those, you know, caffeine, serum, hydrating, lightweight thing. No, not at all. This is like thick. It is very moisturizing, not very hydrating. So I kind of use it on top of like a more moisturizing under eye serum. It doesn't really soak into the skin though, so I don't really like that. It really stays on for a super long time, doesn't want to get tapped in, doesn't want to sink in. It's just super thick. I do like the packaging a lot, but the product inside, I was just expecting something a little bit different. It is also alcohol and fragrance free, and from the ingredients you get some good stuff. Okay, you have vitamin C, you have caffeine, you have vitamin E, you have marigold, you have centella, you have glycerin and ceramides, panthenol, shea butter, trehalose, which I was already talking about today. So you really have like if you read it like this, you can see where the thickness is coming from, right? As I said, ceramides are never in a lightweight product. They always have that greasy feeling. And in this particular product, it's the same thing. So I just blame the ingredients. I should have read it better and seen that, you know, this is maybe not for me. But as like an over serum cream, I don't mind it all that much. I'm still gonna use it up, I think, but I wouldn't purchase it again just because of the thickness and the struggle it is to make this sink in. Speaking of a struggle, this is the Smooth Cozy Souffle, which is a smoothing moisturizer. Listen, I was so drawn to this packaging, like it's just so satisfying to me. I really like it. But the thing is, this is a souffle, you know? Souffle moisturizers are two things, super thick or super whipped and like fluffy. This one is super thick. This is like the most difficult thing to spread I ever had on my face. And it's not that I don't like it, it's just super thick. Like, I think I would just recommend this to someone who really enjoys very thick moisturizers or has like a really dry skin. Otherwise, this is just gonna be too much. Just like it is for me, to be quite honest. However, it is alcohol free again. It contains vitamin E, hyaluronic acid, glycerin, copper gluconate, which is supposed to help the cell regeneration. It also has almond oil, macadamia oil, soybean oil, coconut water, honey, and it's fragranced, sadly. But it smells quite nice. It doesn't smell too strong. It kind of smells soothing. It smells like a soothing cream, which it is. Interesting how that turned out, huh? Anyway, it also contains this thing called BHA, which is not beta hydroxy acid, but it's supposed to be like a very controversial thing that was tested at some study being like a carcinogen. So it could be potentially harmful, but it was tested in like a very different condition than putting it on your face in low dosage. So people are kind of on both sides on that, but you know, I didn't know when I was purchasing it. I was not aware of this ingredient, of even this ingredient existing, to be honest. Yeah, you know, if you want to be rather safe than sorry, I would avoid this moisturizer. Plus, I don't really think it's that good either. I think there are plenty better moisturizers than this one, really. I like the packaging a lot, but I don't like it enough to get over that weird controversial ingredient thing and the fact that I don't really like the texture because it's so thick. Next, we actually have their SPF moisturizer. This is the Urban SPF 50 Day Cream. This one smells amazing, which kind of gives away that it is fragranced because it really smells a little too good to be true. But it is waterproof. It provides you with broad spectrum protection of SPF 50. It is a little bit heavy. It does contain both chemical and physical filters, but I don't think it leaves a white cast, or at least one that would like linger on. I think it eventually always sinks in. But it is waterproof, so it kind of gives you like that slightly rubbery feeling on the face that kind of stays with you because it's waterproof. It is alcohol free and fragranced, as I already mentioned. And you also have different ingredients like hyaluronic acid, glycerin, vitamin E, olive oil, marigold extract, soybean oil, and some other antioxidants. So you kind of have like a good mixture of things in the SPF. The thing is that it is a little too thick for me to be using it on the daily. I do reach for it here and there just when I want to like refresh my memory how much I enjoy or don't enjoy wearing it. And under makeup it's fine on its own when I don't wear makeup. It is a little bit annoying to have like that kind of little bit, I don't know how to say it, like the masky feeling on you. So yeah, not really my everyday one, but I don't mind it. I think it is a nice SPF. And last but not least, we have the moisturizing mask, which comes in this beautiful tube. You get 50 milliliters of product. This one is really like a creamy hydrating mask that is supposed to hydrate the skin not really harden up or peel off or anything. It's just one of those masks for people with dry skin, basically. It's very creamy, it sinks in quite nicely. If you leave it on for long enough, at least for me, it just almost like disappears into the face. And I like that it's not too thick. It doesn't really make you sweat underneath or anything. It just like feels nice and hydrating on the face. Kind of does what it says, you know. It is alcohol-free and fragrance-free, and it does contain several things. You have hyaluronic acid in there, you have niacinamide, vitamin E, glycerin, panthenol, and amino acids, together with almond oil and soybean oil. So you really have kind of like nice hydrating ingredients together with the moisturizing ones. But it's not like only occlusive layer on your face. There are also some hydrating ingredients, you know, like pulling in the moisture from the air. So I think this is like a really good mask. I'm quite like surprised by the size of the packaging. Like, you don't need this, okay? There are different hydrating masks that are nice. They're cheaper, you get a lot more. This one is actually kind of small in my opinion, and it's not like that special. Like, I like it, but it's still just like a cream you leave on for a bit and then you wash it off. So it's nothing really to write home about. It's not like super insane. Maybe if I had like a very dry, flaky skin or something like that, this would save my face. But otherwise, yeah, it's nice. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to everyone. Like, go and get it. No, not in that way. So yeah, that was Nacomi Next Level. If you didn't guess it, my favorites were the serums. Like, the first batch of serums that I bought was definitely my favorite. I think everything with a lightweight texture, they do really, really well. The niacinamide serum, the salicylic acid serum, and the AHA/PHA serum are definitely my favorites from this brand. And the rest of the products is nice, but it's not really something super special. I like that their formulas are not just only one ingredient, but they are usually like well formulated with the other things in mind. So like you have a retinol, but it's also soothing, hydrating, you know, so you don't have to worry about 3 different serums. Same thing with the niacinamide. You have hyaluronic acid already there, and that's like kind of all you need, right? Same thing, the salicylic acid with niacinamide. Same thing, the retinol. No, I already said that. So those products kind of feel to me like they are really well formulated, and I do enjoy using them a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the mask, the moisturizer, or the eye cream. If you want some of the serums they have all different things for like different skin concerns. They have even serums for things like rosacea, like specifically, which I find very interesting. And there are all different kinds of things I still want to try from them, and I probably will at some point, but not now. Now I have a lot of stuff to, you know, figure out and use up. But overall, I was very surprised by this brand. They are quite affordable, and I find their products still like interesting, inspiring. They make me want to try more, which I think is a great sign of a good brand that is doing something correctly. And that's exactly what we love on this channel. So let me know if you tried any of the products. Let me know if you would like me to try any more of their products and specific ones which I should test out, and I'll be happy to do that for you. So thank you very much for watching, consider subscribing, and if you want to see more videos where I talk about skincare, you can check out the playlist. See ya!